The biggest political story of the moment is the ongoing All Progressives Congress primaries, which started on Saturday with the National Assembly talking about the Senate and House of Representatives and continues with the House of Assembly, the governors, and will culminate in the primaries for the president on Saturday. Well, while the ruling party remains one of Nigeria's strongest political parties, deep cracks are beginning to show beneath the surface. The coalition that brought the APC to power in 2015, a mix of northern conservatives, Lagos strategists, former PDP power brokers, and regional interest was always more political arrangement than ideological movement. Now, with 2027 around the corner, questions are emerging about loyalty, succession, regional tensions, and whether that fragile alliance can survive the next election cycle, especially when it looks like a similar upset that happened in 2015 with the APC is about to repeat itself with the gathering of the opposition, the NDC, the ADC, Labour Party, SDP, and all of that. If they are able to agree, are we going to witness another upset like we saw in 2023? Good evening and welcome to Political Lens. Good to have you join us. I am Chukwuma Okoro. Now let's bring in our guests. We've been joined from our Benin outstation by Honorable Collins Amadin. Collins is a special advisor to the Edo State Governor Monday Obebolo on digital resources. We also have Mr. Bobby Obayowana. He's a comrade as well. Bobby is a political affairs analyst and as well as an activist. And also, Williams Edeye will be joining us in the course of the show. Williams is an obedient, but he appears in this show in the capacity of a political affairs analyst. Good gentlemen, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens. We do appreciate your presence.
Thank you very much, Kumar. Good evening. Nice to be with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, then. Good to have you, gentlemen. Let's begin by looking briefly at the just concluded APC primaries and its consequences for the APC and the strength of our democracy. Let me start with you, Mr. Amadin. What's your take on the APC primaries that has been termed the House of Commotion? We see a lot of upset people that are in the House of Assembly, House of Representatives, Senate. A lot of them, at last count, about 74 of them, lost their tickets to return to the National Assembly. How do you react to what outsiders have termed as the House of Commotion that APC has become? Briefly, before we get into our other topics of discussion.
Anyway, thank you, Chukuma, for giving me some smile this evening when you use the word the House of Commotion.
Isn't that what it is? Isn't that what it is?
I disagree with you. So, on one hand, you could also say so. Because when we are trying democracy, as you have ever said, you know, Nigerians are trying over the time. And I wish we'll have a system where the ordinary people will participate. And that is where we are now. We're up to what? Where you are not a big man. For the fact that you're a card-carrying member of the party, come and decide who represents you. That is where we are. To a very large extent, outside the Nuwonsu Babangida system of government, in 1993, we're having a direct option A4 system. I think that is what we have now seen now within the APC party. Option A4. Queue behind who you intend to support. And in such a system, you should expect that interest will vary. And when interest already varies, situation will arise. And we are still testing the market for at the same time. Because it's almost alien, you know, to the people, to the common man, that they can truly choose who become their representative. It's good for democracy, but indeed, you agree some will win, some will lose. And you hardly will see any loser that we agree at all times with the context of the political fears we have been having in this country to succumb to defeat. And because people will hardly succumb to defeat, that is where people like you can come in and say a house of commotion. But however, we are also happy that nationwide, the leadership of the party, the government itself, through which the party has formed government, have been able to manage it to a very large extent, that interests are being managed and people are on the fact that there must be a winner and there must be a loser. I want to give it to the leadership of the party thus far. It's been a very good one, more especially when you are that over 100% of those that are presently holding sway in the party are not returning. It simply means the ordinary constituents have indeed given either a pass mark or to say you have done well or you have not done well. In a situation where they have said you have not done well, that means That is the reason probably why they are not returning.
Okay.
In some cases too, the issue of zoning formula have actually affected some, where the ordinary people from those immediate consequences have stood their ground and said,
okay, all right, then, Collins. All right, Collins. Yes, I get your drift. I'm happy that you raised a few talking points. When you talked about what is happening now, direct primaries looking more like what we had in 1993, the option A4, by Humphrey Nwosu. But we didn't get the kind of hula baloo that we have now across all parts of the country. As a matter of fact, in 36 states of the Federation, when I said House of Commotion, I didn't make it up. I didn't say that. I mean, it's out there. The stories are out there where there is violence. Some of them have been mad by violence. Some people are threatening going to court. Some senators are saying, no, we are not going to take all of that. And I also like the fact that you did admit that if these people, as many as 74 of them, are not returning, it shows some level of underperformance, which means, technically speaking, you admit that your party failed. If you have about 74 of members of the National Assembly not returning as a result of non-performance, and it speaks to what you people have done in the past 3 years. Before you react, I'd like to go to, let's get the reaction of Bobby Obayowana. You have your turn, Collins. Let's get the reaction of Bobby Obayowana. Hello, Bobby. Bobby, I'd like for you to react to what people have called, term. I didn't make it up. People have said, well, looks like the APC primaries is more like a house of commotion, where nobody, the stories are out there. People say, no, we are not going to take this. The counting, some of them from 99 to 200. A certain member of the House of Representatives went for the primaries scheduled for 11 o'clock. I could play the clip. And the man said, well, I was told that it would be here by 11 o'clock. I'm an aspirant. I'm a sitting member of the House of Representatives. I only got here like 20 minutes to 11 o'clock, and I was told that the event is done and dusted. I said, so when did they do all of that? So it's not as if Chukwuma made it up. I'd like for you to react to, developments around the APC primary, starting from Saturday up until this moment. What do you see? What do you know?
The event with the All Progressives Congress primaries, beginning from last week Saturday till now, is actually a show of shame. It is not a reflection of democratic tenets. It is not a reflection of the people's will. And it does not really give people alternatives to choose their representatives in the various elective positions that were put to the public for people to actually showcase their interest. In Edo State, for instance, we had a situation where even aspirants could not vote in their own elections. The current sitting Senator Neda Imasuen, though he has won, he was not allowed to go into the Urokota venue to go and cast his vote. States like Zamfara and Ondo, a lot of political hula baloo took place where they imposed candidates on the people. What is the essence of democracy when there is for political contestation? If you are using consensus candidacy, why tell aspirants to go and get forms? What we are seeing is now political selection and not election. What we are now seeing is ceremonial imposition of candidates by the All Progressives Congress. And looking at the tenets of democracy, which is the government of the people, this does not really reflect the collective wishes of the people, not just the party faithfuls. This is a shambolic essence that can be akin to the statement that is called hula baloo as a result of what journalists and political observers could deduce from the entire socio-political process. And if you say that this is a way internal party democracy, then in terms of the tenets of democracy to the larger majority, because whatever we are doing as a people, whether from the political perspective or from the internal party perspective, reflects the core of democracy, which is political contestation. we are seeing a situation where they are imposing candidates on people, all in the name of consensus candidacy. People can no longer choose their. If you are categorizing.
Okay, all right then, Bobby. Bobby, as a matter of fact.
If you are using approach to raise the issue,
okay.
Let the people determine.
Let the people determine. As a matter of fact, what you described as consensus being forcing candidates or aspirants on people is not a making of the APC. I mean, it's a clause in the Electoral Act. If you can't go the consensus way, then you can go direct primaries. But in all of this, I think APC is on the spotlight at the moment because they are the ones conducting their primaries. You never can tell what will happen by the time it gets to the turn of NDC, PDP, ADC, Labour Party, and all of that. And so, very well taken. We understand that there might be problems, but there are also internal mechanisms within the parties, you know, to resolve all of these problems. Now, let's move on. I would like for us, let's get William's reaction if he has joined us in the studio. Can we get William Ediai's reaction? William, are you there? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Good evening, Williams, and good to have you join us.
So the issue is this, that APC is a party. And for you to get to be favored and even get positions or elective position, you need to be very loyal. And then two, those people who didn't get those tickets is as simple as that they've already decided. And whatever you see on the feed, be that whether it's free or fair, any place you see the crowd so much is the person that the leaders have chosen. And call for concern. If the party cannot conduct a political primaries, party primaries, who are in charge and who are incumbent, are they going to conduct free and fair elections? So these are not just concerned about the issue that they cannot conduct primaries. We are also concerned about the larger future. How are they going to the election in 2027? Because it is very, very, very shameful as a party who are very, you know, using governors, in fact, canvassing governors. Remember in the morning I said too much power block, and it's going to play out to a very great extent, and they were going to suffer for it. Too much power block and too much interest, political interest. How are you going to manage this issue? It's not about gathering powers just because you want to win an election. But how do you manage internal democracy? And you big in their own sense, they are all coming with their own political interest. And there are people who are there also who have also suffered for the party. And because there's a leader who is here and he's bringing his own preferred candidate, you are allowed to suffer. Who are carry members of it. This is what they are going to suffer even beyond 20
Okay, this is what they are going to suffer even beyond 2027. Well, it's only fair that we go back to Collins because Collins Amadin is on the hot seat. His party is on the spotlight. So, Collins, it's only fair that we allow you to react, you know, to the takes of the other fellow analysts on the primaries being conducted on your part, by your party is ongoing. So, how do you react to their comments holistically, briefly, if you can, so that we can move on?
You know, opposition was going to see events. Do you know what we have just done? Do you know what APC, the kind of primary we have done? Do you think it's a joke? Wards, all the wards across the country participating, not delegatory system of electing representative. Do you know what it is when you say a sitting members of lost elections and ordinary people in the streets are not going there to represent the party? Do you think it's a joke? What APC can be done more than this? Do you know what it is to say somebody, for example, who is the majority leader in the House of Reps, Professor Eonwere, to say he has lost an election? You were talking about the probably lack of mass may have made many of them.
Collins,
you know,
Collins.
And I gave you a very quick insight
okay, all right.
that may have led to some.
Okay.
Please, you allow me to your question. Now, some may be as a base of zoning, some way of propagating good laws or even constituency projects, maybe disconnected themselves directly. He's wanting to get in touch with the people.
All right then. All right, Collins. All right, Collins. We don't have all the time. Airtime is perishable, and we have a lot of grounds to cover. Now, are you aware that there are lots and lots of complaints by the very people you say, lost their tickets. A lot of them are saying, we were shut out of the process. Bobby just mentioned a serving senator who was not allowed to cast his vote. And so across the length and breadth of this country, there are issues with, well, we didn't even, in Ogun State, that Abiodun didn't allow sitting senator Olubenga Daniels to get into the venue. Collins, I'm asking you, I just said something, I'm asking you the question, please. Allow me to land on my question. You made a point. Now, my question is this, are you aware that a lot of these people are saying we were shut out of the process? And so how was the process? Quickly.
That's what I'm telling you. How that it didn't go well with you, you may have reasons to complain, which is normal. You said a service senator said he couldn't vote. He got to the venue.
We've got you covered. Health check only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the Locker Room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Ampelon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shapes with every headline,
In a nation full of questions,
in a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
Food remains one of the most powerful tools in maintaining health and preventing disease. As the commemoration of World Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day, Nutrition experts and healthcare professionals are drawing attention to the role of proper nutrition in improving the quality of life. The event, themed Discover the Power of Nutrition, highlights how food choices can influence lifespan, productivity, and overall well-being. Speakers note that balanced diets that include fruits, vegetables, adequate water intake, and controlled portions can help reduce the risk of several health conditions. They warn that unhealthy eating habits and excessive consumption of processed foods continue to contribute to a growing number of non-communicable diseases, including obesity, cardiovascular disease, and hypertension.
Is when you get your diet right, you are physically and mentally alert, which you know that eating healthy is one of the master key of good health. Down to the hospital setting, they come in as clients. We have those on admission across board, from cradle to geriatric, which is the elderly people. So from the pregnant woman, for your child, for you to be healthy and the child to be healthy, and you come out having a bouncing and beautiful or handsome baby, you need the touch of a dietitian. That is in terms of a promotion of good health.
Experts also emphasize the important role dietitians play within the healthcare system, particularly in providing specialized nutritional care for patients who are unable to feed normally.
We need to improve on our policy. We need to improve on our policy. We need to make sure that food is one of the highest allocation is given to food in the policy. 1, 2, during the policy for nutrition is dietitians should be included in this policy making table, because we are the ones that actually knows where the feet is pinching. We are with the grassroots. We know them. We see them. They come to us. Some of them, we know the reasons why some of this thing is happening. So with this, we can actually tackle this thing. The second thing is that we need to train more of nutritionists and dietitians in Nigeria.
Beyond hospitals, nutrition advocates say that raising awareness about healthy eating habits remains key to building a healthier population. They add that schools, institutions, and communities must work together to promote better nutrition practices.
And the message we have out there is that nutrition is the bedrock of healthy living. If we talk about people being healthy to go about their businesses and being away from disease, out of disease, you have to make your nutrition a top priority in your life. So when you get the nutrition right, it takes care of every health condition as well as healthy living.
For organizers of the event, the goal is to encourage greater recognition of the role institution and nutrition plays in everyday health and national development.
Just like the way they normally say that information is power. So we want to empower people all on the aspect of malnutrition. When I say malnutrition, we have undernutrition, we have overnutrition. And when we talk about malnutrition too, some can resort to health challenges. You understand? And even excessive to overnutrition resort to health challenges. When we talk about malnutrition, many of us, our understanding is about the children, it's about the toddlers. Fine, they have it on the side. We have that challenges, and we want them to get information. If they are rightfully fed, if they are adequately fed, they will see every child is not expected to sleep in an hospital. If it is not a kind of a epidemic kind of situation that is happening, every child should stay at home, come for hospital for just checkup or immunization, and go back home and live healthy. So, but for the adults too, you discover a lot of adult-related health challenges. They are diet-related challenges. We want to talk about hypertension. We want to talk about diabetes. We want to talk about obesity. We want to talk about renal-related. Renal-related condition. When we say renal, we have acute, chronic till you get to the end stage. Depending, it's about liver cirrhosis or fatty liver, or disease or even alcoholic fatty liver. So a lot of health challenges that people are having. If we want to talk about the common in our climate, which is malaria, it is hemolysis. Hemolysis that the red blood cell is being destroyed, and then we have a nutritional anemia, and then we have anemia on its own too. And then one of the things you see many people after treating malaria, they say they need a blood tonic too. So a lot of things that this program we address. If Nigeria embrace this profession, if Nigeria put this profession in the appropriate place, put us where we belong, encourage us, we are ready to give out our best. And we have people, we have professors, we have doctors, we have professionals that are practicing day in and day out, that have current knowledge about what is happening. But if the environment does not encourage, then you are unnecessarily overworked, you are unnecessarily short-staffed, then you become weary, because how will you? Knowledge is not static. You need to be improving in knowledge every now and then. So what this program is the message is trying to pass across is that individual can actually live healthy, and those that are having health challenges too can also maintain it. If it is uncurable one, if it is the one that they need to manage, they can also live healthy with the knowledge of nutrition gotten from the appropriate quarters, from the expert, because it is like a medicine. You need to review, you need to come for follow-up, we need to make assessment. It is not a one-time thing. So, and it's not surgery. And if it's not surgery too, you have to come for follow-up too, for the site, for the operation that has been carried out, for the surgeon to ensure that everything is working out fine. And if for it to working out fine too, nutrition is needed, because the wound will still need to be healed. Then you need a vitamin C, you understand. You need a protein, replenishment of tissues, and you need adequate iron supply, so that everything will go. You need a vitamin A for the epithelial tissue, for everything to work effectively. So that is what we are here, and that is the message we are passing out. And on the topic, discover the power of nutrition, I'm so much interested in this year program because it has a very powerful theme, and we want the world to know about it.
Participants were also taken through simple physical exercises, highlighting the importance of combining good nutrition with active living for improved health outcomes.
All over the world, every dietitian is celebrating this month as our month where we create more awareness about the goodness of nutrition, right? The goodness of food. Everyone you see here, majority of people you see here are professionals of nutrition and dietetics, where the group that have been equipped with the knowledge of passing right nutrition information to the people of the world, right? So here today, we want people to know that there's power in nutrition. We want people to know that with good food, you can prevent illness. It's not just about eating, it's about eating smart, eating right, and eating well, so that you can be able to achieve the maximum nutrients benefits from the foods that you are consuming.
7, 8, 9, and 10.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat. the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. Africa News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's about that shagging man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers boy ever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
Nigeria, with its complex political atmosphere, divergent views and discordant views, better still, coming with bass bows. Only one question matters: who really has the best candidate? Something is here. 5 political camps, 1 stage, no filters. Join us in this clash as supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Omoyele Sowore, and Adewale Adebayo go head to head in no holds barred town hall debate. No script, just raw, unfiltered conversation. This is more than politics. This is where opinions clash, facts are tested, and the truth fights to be heard. Happening live on May 22nd by 11 a.m. at Golden Tulip Terrace Hall, Ihoka Tower, 36 International Airport Road, Lagos. Don't miss it. Watch live on YouTube at VOP TV. Set your reminder, subscribe, join the conversation. My candidate is the best, or is it?
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your #1 celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarate is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
A very good evening to you and welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People Television. I will bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I'm your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. Today on the issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance, from courts nullifying INEC's timetable for 2027 party primaries, to Jonathan praising Gawan, describing his policies as relevant today. Also, police commence disciplinary action against officer over threat video. Finally, Tinubu appoints Segun Aino as a new JAMB registrar. Join us as we break down the fact and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. A federal high court has voided part of the timetable released by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for the conduct of party primaries and submission of membership registers ahead of the 2027 elections. Trial Judge Justice Mohammed Umar, in his judgment, set aside INEC's May 10 deadline, requiring political parties to submit a register and database of all their members as a condition for qualifying to participate in the general elections. Justice Omar, in the judgment, held that the time frame the Commission imposed on political parties to conduct their primaries and to submit, withdraw, or replace names and particulars of the candidates for general elections is inconsistent with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2026. Reactions have trailed this decision as Coalition of United Political Parties, COP, and other political parties have asked INEC to obey the court's judgment and adjust its revised timetable for the 2027 general elections accordingly. INEC has, however, disclosed that the Commission would critically study the court's verdict before taking any decision. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests who will be both joining us virtually. We have Chris Paul Otaigbe. He is an international freelance journalist and a public commentator. Glad to have you join us, sir. Glad to have you join us, Chris Otaigbe. Please unmute your device if you can hear me. Okay, we also have Benson Abu, who is a researcher and a public affairs analyst. I'm glad to have you join us, Benson Abu.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me start with you, and then of course later on our other guests will join us. But before we delve into this particular issue of INEC, Benson Abo, I want to ask you. I want to hear your opinion on what happened in Rivers State. You know why? Because I know we've had a discussion about this issue of Fubara, and now we've seen Fubara step down. So I want to hear you, Charlie, as a Rivers State man, what do you think about this? About his stepping down, and also about Kingsley Chinda taking over as the governorship aspirant, the governorship and gubernatorial candidate for the APC?
Discuss this, and I think the best decision is what he has taken. Reason is that with what APC has put forward and the INEC rule, it will have been difficult for him to move from APC to any other party. So, and since the APC, the leader of APC, and the invisible hand in the Rainbow Coalition have decided and they want to maintain that. Because what Tinubu did was to crucify Fubara for the FCT minister, because there was no way he would have been able to trade. He felt FCT minister was more important to him than Fubara. So going forward, I think the best option is they wanted a director, this thing, and ask all of them to step down. But I think that would actually prompt the resignation withdrawing from the race. Yeah, but in another way, that withdrawing from the race is not really going to be to the interest of APC, Tinubu, and others, because the people see it as a fight against them, not even a fight against Fubara. That's what I will see. That the people will see it, because Fubara is doing a lot for the Rivers people. And asking him not to come back for the second tenure, it means you want to do a lot of things he has done that the former governor Wike did not do. All throughout his 8 years in office, he did not promote a civil servant, neither did he give them a bonus. Fubara came on board. That he has been doing right from the first day he came on board. And so the civil servants are happy with him. Now, the Kalabari Transcarabari Road has been there. Nobody wants to complete it. But Fubara is bent on getting it across board from Ikwere down to that houses, which will give opportunity to the riverine people to reside in their place, build house in their place, come to Port Harcourt and work and go back. So which will be of benefit to them. Now, you also look at so many other things, internal road constructions ongoing and a lot of things going on in River State. It's obvious that you can see that the internal is high. You can see what is coming now and what was there when Wiki was there. So you see the disparity is so much. So the Rivers people are actually happy with him. And so asking that he's withdrawing, the masses are actually going to have to carry out a protest vote. They're not saying anything, it's peaceful, good. But come during the election, you will see a protest vote. That is what I predict. That's the thing. You understand me? So APC should not take it for granted that they have won. No. Fubara may be like quiet and want peace to reign. Good. But the outcome of it will almost be like what happened during Amechi period, when Amechi was having problems with Jonathan. That's what you are going to get at the finally. Wike wasn't the best candidate in that period, but they wanted Amechi to go because they don't want to support his candidate because they felt he was fighting his own brother. And that is exactly what will be the outcome of 2027 election. So,
Okay.
Tinubu should not be happy that he has won. It's a temporary thing. That's
Okay,
what I see.
well, let's see how it plays out. I still have a lot of questions to ask you about this particular Fubara issue, but I will leave it and ask you during the course of the program. But let's delve into this matter of INEC. You know, some political parties have actually rejoiced over this. Even some political contenders, some political elites, and they've actually they're happy that this is happening. For you, what are the implications of this court nullifying INEC's timetable for the party primaries ahead of the elections? What do you make of it, and what do you think would be the implications? Before I go to our other guest.
First and foremost is a welcome development that the court is speaking loud and clear in line with the Electoral Act. So decisions reached is a welcome development. Now, if that decision holds, it implies that parties have time. People can cross carpet from APC into other parties. Those who were not favored in this primary can go to the other party and indicate their interest. So there are a lot of implications. And it also tells us that INEC has not been very meticulous. Because if INEC is meticulous, they will have actually been able to see this in line with the Electoral Act. So the ambush right now is what we don't understand. Remember that one of the programs we talked about it before. So between now, I don't know why INEC wants the register this early period. Election is coming up next year, and you are asking them to do all the what they are doing now. So from what the court has said, September has been given. So we have June, we have July, we have August, and it's enough for parties to settle, people to aspire, and all the rest other things to be done. So I think it will, INEC will also be cautious and careful going forward, because knowing very well that they were anticipating that parties or coalition will go to court in this matter, because people know and they understand and they know they will win. And that is why they went to court. So all things being equal, I see if INEC do not go for appeal, even if they go for appeal, it will not stand the test of time. So that's the way I see it, and it's good for democracy. And it's also good that it's obvious that it's not going to be business as usual, that the judiciary will be pocketed this time around. Because I think the judiciary wants to put some level of independence. So yes, but from what is happening, I think the judiciary herself want to come out and say, look, we are on our own. We want to see more of this coming from the judiciary.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for your submission there. Let me go to our other guest. I'm glad to have you join us, Chris Otaigbe. Can we establish connection with you, please?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, what do you make of this new development of the court nullifying, part of the INEC's timetable for party primaries, especially ahead of the 2027 elections? And for you, do you think that INEC will actually appeal this decision?
I lost you there.
Yes, we're here. You lost me. Okay, I said, what do you make of this court nullifying the INEC's timetable for party primaries? And in your own opinion, do you think INEC would actually appeal this decision?
No, I don't know why INEC want to appeal such a decision because it's very clear. Very clear because the provisions of the 2026 Electoral Act are clear. And beyond that, the court made that decision, which is beyond the timeline. The Electoral Act gave the parties to choose their candidates in their internal election. I don't know if I understand, what you're asking well. I don't know why INEC would want to interfere by shortening that time for election. And we have to thank God for the judge for that judgment because it's just clear. I don't know why INEC would want to appeal that decision. It's clear.
Okay, so I actually
So I don't
asked
really have
first.
much
Okay,
to
let me
say
come in
about
here.
that.
Okay, let me come in here. I actually asked first what you make of that decision, and then I now added a second part of the question. That's why I asked if you think the INEC was going to actually
And it don't,
appeal it.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
I'm listening.
So I said, what do you make of that decision? Do you think it's a good one? Does it portend them well for the opposition parties? Some people have actually said yes. It actually affords other political parties or other people who are, who feel that they've been aggrieved or who are aggrieved political members of probably APC after they've lost the primaries. They can now move to other parties. And this has given them room to do that. Do you actually think that this appeal or this judgment rather is a good one?
Submission should actually cover the two because if INEC appeals that, to what end? To what end? Is INEC, that means INEC must have a particular interest in that whatever it is doing because it's like the court saying allow the parties within this space of time to choose their candidates. You don't need to abridge it or reduce it or whatever. Leave them to choose their candidate within that time.
Okay, so for you, you're saying that this actually is a very good one, and you feel like INEC shouldn't even appeal it in the first place.
I hope that's clear.
Yes, it
Can you
is.
hear me? Because I keep hearing myself.
Yes, it is clear. Let me go back to our other guest. Benson, you can hear me, right? Can you hear me, Benson Abu?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so while you were speaking earlier, you mentioned the fact that you like what the judiciary did in this aspect. So I actually didn't want to talk about that at that point. But when you look at this case, does this actually reveal that the judiciary in Nigeria is as independent as it should be? We've seen cases where people have actually said it looks like our judiciary is another part of the executive, that it looks like it's not an independent arm of government, but an extension of the executive. But when for a case like this, or with a case like this, would you actually say that, yes, it seems a judiciary, in this particular instance, it has actually showed what it is as an independent arm of government?
Like I said when I was talking, I will not want to say judiciary is independent. I will look at it as a case-by-case study, meaning that it depends on who the judge is. It's not about a complete holistic thing on the judiciary. Whereas we give the judge the kudos and the judiciary because it's also part of the judiciary. But most times, Nigerian judiciary is not independent. They have influences by the executive. In this case, the judge has decided to distinguish himself in making this pronouncement because it's very clear. So I think we give kudos to the judge and the judiciary in this instance. And we hope that the judiciary will wake up and maintain consistencies in judgment, especially when things are very glaring. So that's the way I will see it, and that's the way I want to go about it. Because if we say the judiciary is independent, there are so many cases that were determined that shows that there were invisible hands in it. So let us hope that Nigeria will be a better place, and some judges will take the bold step to say no to things that are not okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's move to our next conversation. Former President Goodluck Jonathan says several policies introduced under former head of state Yakubu Gowon remain relevant to Nigeria today. Jonathan made the remarks while reflecting on Gowon's contributions to national unity, post-war reconciliation, and infrastructure development. He noted that some of the principles implemented during Gowon's administration still offer valuable lessons for governance and nation building. Meanwhile, Yakubu Gowon says despite its current challenges, Nigeria will overcome and remain united. The former head of state urged citizens to remain hopeful and committed to national unity, stressing that the country's difficulties are not insurmountable. Let me come to you first, Chris Otaigbe. I'm sure you're still with us.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Let's look at this. This happened, there was a book launch, and I'm sure you followed this. And Jonathan has said that Gowon's policies remain relevant. I don't know what you make of this. Do you actually align with Jonathan that yes, some of the policies that Gowon had is still relevant today in the Nigeria we have today?
Oh, well, first let me go back in time. Gowon is without a doubt one head of state that was really celebrated by Nigerians. I remember those days we used to line the streets with flags, just waiting for his convoy to pass. And his wife Victoria was glamorously recognized and celebrated by Nigerians. One of the first, very few first ladies that was really celebrated the way she was. Now, talking about his policies, a lot of them, yes, were relevant. Don't forget, he was coming from the Civil War. He led us through the Civil War. And so the foundation of his policy had to do with the 3 R's that he said. The reconstruction, rehabilitation, and one other R, But basically, the ones we can actually recognize and still know till today are the ones that follow, and they come as institutions. The National Service Corps, and of course, beyond that, you have the ECOWAS, that's on the foreign policy. But the NYSC captured the spirit, coming from the Civil War, because it was one of the areas, he had to use to bring that his foundational policy to life, where you have to send children from one state to another state, or from one part of the country to another part of the country. And they had effect on each and every one of us. Of course, the Nigerian situation, they had to find a way to corrupt, compromise it. People buying slots for their children to serve in their states of origin and all that, trying to defeat their policy. So that was there. So, but essentially, Gowon did work. His policies really did reverberate. And of course, we have some of the infrastructure we have in the country today. Most of them he created. I don't know why till today, over 60% of the infrastructure we have in the country road today, we're talking of road, bridges, and all of that, was still from him. So his policies are still relevant. But beyond that, I'd like to look at the leader himself, the man himself, because he's the leader, the president or the head of the state who determines the agenda, directs the country. We have to thank God that he was the one at the time, and not this set of politicians we have today. Otherwise, the nation will have been wrecked right from that time till now. But he had a good heart, and he led the country to the best of his understanding, sincerely. Unlike the kind of leadership we have today, who are so selfish, biased and bad-hearted against their opponents, against, pushing the divisive rhetoric, even while in government, divisive policies, So, Gowon, we have to credit him. He still remains relevant till today. And, his policies. I may not remember most of them, but I'm sure my brother there will remember other ones. But this one that I know, the NYSC, it was a landmark, that remains there. So Gowon has really made an impact, and his policies, some of his policies remain with us.
Okay, thank you very much. The 3 hours we were talking about is reconciliation, reconstruction, and rehabilitation. I think it was rehabilitation you were trying to remember. Thank you very much for your submission there. Let me come to Benson Abu. Benson Abu, one of the things that would always be linked with Yakubu Gowon is about the civil war. But when you look at this, do you really think that Nigerians are still okay? One of his would I say his slogan, if I could use, or his philosophy is no victor, no vanquished. Do you think that this philosophy has really been effective? Was it effective then in promoting post-war reconciliation? And when you look at Nigeria today, post-civil war, have we really found that unity that Nigerians and our leaders then actually yearned for?
What I want to say is that one, like you said, Gowon is a leader or president that actually was faced with issue of war. But thank God, after the war, he said, no victory, no vanquish. Yeah, to a very large extent, there were a lot of reconciliation in bringing Nigerians together. But to what extent was Nigeria united is another big question. Because he was a man of unity, he wanted one Nigeria and was a man of unity. And with the slogan, One Nigeria, Every policy around him was to see how to unite Nigeria together. But after he left the office, the other leaders that came thereafter, were they able to embrace this thought and this philosophy? If they are, we won't be talking about indigenous and non-indigenous. We had relative peace. After that, you can go to the north, you can travel along the road. Anything that happens to you, Nigerians are ready to attend to you. But can that be of it today? Today, people are being killed in the north for their faith. Is Nigeria still united? People are being killed today for the tribe they come for. Is Nigeria still being united? So there are so many things that have emanated that actually shows that we have not really embraced one Nigeria. No victory, no victory. You go to government offices, is there fairness in promotion and all that takes place? We also look at the policy of what they call it, casual admission into universities and other government schools. It's not based on merit. What will you say a child that scored 300 cannot get admission and the one that scored 120 is given admission? On what basis? So he had a good thought. He had a good philosophy. He was coming from a background where to unite Nigeria, to remove that sentiment by the elite. Because most of the problem we have in Nigeria today are the thought of Nigerian elites. For their political interests, they divide Nigeria. Because they have followers, they were able to and come up with things that actually does not exist. These are the things killing Nigeria. So we need somebody like Gowon, his thought, his philosophy to build Nigeria.
Okay.
So I think these are the things that we can talk about. His legacy still live on. You like it or not, NYSC may not have got record 100%, but they've been able to unite Nigeria. I have traveled to different places. I can eat food in Kakatu, Masara, drink Kudu, drink other things that were not peculiar to my tribe. So these are the wonderful things that we enjoy. Cultural alignment and understanding of the multidimensional ethnic groups we have in Nigeria. So for me, I still maintain that NYSC should still be retained. Most of the policies of Gowon can help us at this point because Nigeria at this is almost at war. There's no difference between Nigeria today and the Nigerians of the 67. Because where blood is being shed, people are being killed. So we need to go back to the philosophy of Gowon, to heal Nigeria, to rehabilitate Nigeria, and to reconstruct Nigeria. I rest my case.
Thank you. To rehabilitate Nigeria and reconstruct Nigeria, we need to go back to Gowon's policies. That's according to Benton Abu. Well, you know, you mentioned NYSC. You talked about how the advantage and benefits of NYSC. And Chris Otaigwe also mentioned it. You know, personally, I actually understand how the advantage of NYSC. I did not know that there was any other tribe in the northern part of the country except the Hausas before I went for my service here. I actually used to categorize every northerner as an Hausa person. And I'm sure that that's how many of us in the West and even in the East think until probably we get to, maybe NYSC takes us there, then we get to know that, you know, aside from Hausa, we have Nupe, we have Gwari and all of that. If there was no NYSC, personally, I'm sure I would not have known that. Maybe I would not have even visited where I served. So really, NYSC had advantages, and thanks to Gowan. But you know, while he was speaking during this book launch, let me come to you, Chris Otaigbe. One of the things he actually said, he actually tried advising Nigerians, and he said we should, stop saying that Nigeria is a failed state, and that those perspectives or such perspectives do not reflect the country's realities or potential. I don't know what you make of this. You actually align with that, yes, we need not to call our country a failed state, because irrespective of our challenges as a country, Nigeria still stands strong. Do you think that you align with that?
Agree with His Excellency. Well, he's just trying to make us feel good. He's a good man, but he himself knows deep down this is not the Nigeria that he left for us. Nigeria is a failed state for Marx. We are such a failed state that I can tell you today, I don't know what words to use to describe the state of Nigeria today. We are a failed state. That is established. It's an established fact. Right now, there is no law and order in the country. Where it is so expressed, it's a mere window dressing, political window dressing. My brother here just talked about killings, insecurity in the country. These are done by politicians who are selfish, who not only sell down, but who are deferring to foreign hands that are ruining our country. So there is no, it's clear, it's black and white. We are a failed state. Even the process of bringing government is crazy. It's failed. Look at what the man that brought this government. It's so obvious. Those are little elements of a failed state. Now, when you have ragtag armies in the name of terrorists, Boko Haram, this one, terrorizing our own army, an army that saved Liberia, saved Sierra Leone, helped South Africa, have helped so many countries in Africa, to the point we are regarded as the big brother. Today, we are a shadow of ourselves. That's crazy. Even people we have helped, countries we have helped. Xenophobia is following us. That is the reward now. And our government here is just there, just speaking English and not taking action. Those are elements of a failed state for me. Right now, you find in Nigeria, crime pays. But if you try to be a good person, patriotism doesn't pay. So you have to be a criminal to be accepted, to be successful. It's almost institutionalized, almost virtually legitimized. Those are indices of a state that has failed. So let nobody sugarcoat it. We are a failed state. And I will add, Nigeria is a failed state for Marx. If there is another one, I will add it. In fact, we're in phase state plus plus. My dear sister, there's nothing more to say now. We are seeing it. Over 90-something% of Nigeria are turning into beggars. It's crazy. So look, I don't have more to say.
Okay, thank
We
you.
know it. We feel it's there. So I rest my case, my dear.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next conversation. The Nigeria Police Force says disciplinary action has commenced against an officer, Newton Isokbehi, who was captured in a viral video allegedly threatening to kill anyone filming him. In the footage, the officer was allegedly heard warning that he would kill anyone attempting to record him during an encounter. The police authorities say disciplinary procedures have now begun against the officer involved, describing the conduct as unacceptable and, of course, and asking the general public to disregard. But I don't know, let's just hear a little part of this clip, and then I'll come to you, Benson Abu.
They suffer every time, every day. Any day when I did work, duty, as an officer, I did with my rifle, I did work. Make somebody video me. Make that oga when give an order, someone at the video us. He go do your burial for you. He go bury you. Now he go bury you. The numbers of how many una be una go keep away. Now he go bury una. Allah. They burn anybody where. Video me when I'm on duty. Performing my lawful duty in Nigerian government, Nigerian police for 26 years, they will suffer. They suffer every time, every day suffer. Uniform and not fit buy, nothing I fit do for, not fit give us good.
Okay, Benson Abu, let me come to you. I don't know what you make of this particular video by the police officer. You know, at the later end, he was talking about lamenting about how they are being, their uniforms and all, welfare generally. Would you actually, what do you make of this video? Do you think that this man is making this kind of threats as a result of how he feels or how he feels he's been treated by the force or by the government? What does it say generally about the kind of police officers that we have in Nigeria today? If a police officer can actually come out to threaten Nigeria and actually call the bluff of even his superiors, what do you make of it?
Well, it's obvious that the man is tired of his job, and because of the corruption in Nigeria, if you listen to the remaining last part, an institution like the police should be well funded. Welfare, I have said it sometimes ago. The Nigerian army, the Nigerian police, they are not well taken care of. They are not well funded. Their welfare is nothing to write home about. You are in a fault. You buy your shoe, you buy your clothes, and all that, and their salary cannot take care of them. They can't send their children to a decent school, and you want them to die for the country. You can't get that patriotism. That is the truth. The man is frustrated. Now he's saying, if I'm collecting money on the road, most of the police, the vehicle they use is from that money they collect on the road. They use in plying the road to this thing. So he's telling you, if you want to solve this problem, those who are on top, are they saying that federal government is not providing for the police force? Where does this money go? Who is spending the money? We need to begin to ask questions. Because the foot soldiers are crying. Does the police hierarchy have the justification to actually say they want to investigate it when the right thing is not being done? You ask me to go to the road. There is no fuel. There is no vehicle. The uniform I'm wearing, I'm the one that bought it. Come on now. Then we need to have a rethink. I'm not supporting him for his statement, but he's talking from out of frustration. Because what has been happening now, that the moment they video you and it comes on air, because the police force want to have a good name, they try these people, they dismiss them. And he's trying to react to what has happened to his colleague.
Okay.
So what it means is that if you are a citizen and you are meeting a police officer and you are videoing, your life is at stake. Because before the video goes out, you may not see the light of the day. That's exactly what he's trying. And if you want, that may be the view of so many of the police. Because they know the consequence that when the video goes out, they will not remain in their service. So whoever is doing that must be very careful and do it codedly and secretly. So for me, he's a frustrated man.
Okay, let me thank.
I don't know how the video came out, but he already said that.
No, he was actually the one that sent. He was the one who sent the video himself, because there was another video he made, and he was like, he has been posting different videos which did not go viral, but when he now sent the one about threats, that one went viral. And then on that particular video, which he was recording, that's the second one, he was actually apologizing and said he didn't mean it the way he actually meant it and all of that. But let me allow Chris Otaigbe have a view, or take his view on this particular, because we're really out of time already. Let me have your view. What do you think? Do you think that this is just about the fact that these people are not, the welfare is nothing to write home about? Or does this actually reflect deeper concerns about the abuse of power about security personnel?
Let me quickly just say this.
In just 1 minute, please. Please, we're out of time. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yes, please, quickly, let me say this. One, let it be a policy in the police that people must be encouraged to video. And if a case is brought, if you are reported to the policeman, about the police being reported, for the policeman himself to be vindicated or to be even listened to, he must produce a video, since you can't give them body cam. Then they will all behave themselves. But to his fear, Jermaine, how can police be buying their uniform? Is that not crazy? We are talking about failed state. That's one now. So that doesn't work.
Okay.
They have toll gates they set up where they collect money, and according to Fela of blessed memory, where the DPO is the managing director, somebody else is the maybe treasurer, I don't know. That is the police we run today. Let's not get it twisted. We are running a failed state police organization, period.
Okay.
So that's it. But for the guy, thank God he apologized. He was talking from frustration now.
Okay.
Yeah. Even when I was in Nigeria, I used to give them, when I'm driving past, I give them because I feel for them.
Okay.
That guy standing in the sun and rain, risking his life at night with less than a rifle compared to the sophisticated weapons of criminals, risking his life. It should be appreciated. I appreciate them personally.
We really have to go.
They are not the enemies. It's their bosses that are enemies. Thank you very much. Let's not take much of your time.
Thank you very much. Really have to go. So sorry I had to cut you that way. And that's the much we can take on today's episode of The Issues. And thank you very much, Chris Otaigbe, for your submission. Thank you as well, Benson Abu, for your detailed analysis as usual. And thank you as well, Chris Otaigbe. And that's all we have for today's episode of The Issues. Explore the challenges facing Nigeria's politics and governance. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nnenna Ndomdioto. This has been the Issues on Voice of the People television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for hashtag with Vivian by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People television. Stay with us.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV. Live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice. Nigeria, with its complex political atmosphere, divergent views and discordant views, better still, coming with bass bows. Only one question matters: who really has the best candidate? Something is here. 5 political camps, 1 stage, no filters. Join us in this clash as supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Omoyele Sowore, and Adewale Adebayo go head to head in no holds barred town hall debate. No script, just raw, unfiltered conversation. This is more than politics. This is where opinions clash, facts are tested, and the truth fights to be heard. Happening live on May 22nd by 11 a.m. at Golden Tulip Terrace Hall, Ihoka Tower, 36 International Airport Road, Lagos. Don't miss it. Watch live on YouTube at VOP TV. Set your reminder, subscribe, join the conversation. My candidate is the best, or is it?
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
My name is Esther. They call me the Oga, but of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, My name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. The city call me Enjoyment Landlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me. My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Mide, but last, more than No Mide, or more. Not be also the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you now want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and they want to cut anything come on. At VOP TV.
In a world where power shapes with every headline.
Full of questions.
In a world of voice, truth needs the voice.
Policies that shape the world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day. Vine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news, captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
From the views on the streets,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of the hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not bad to renovate the president's law.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space. Exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, directing news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
4564 is coming up on
564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm with shout out to VOP TV. Keep watching. Don't change the dial, and thank God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, represent the voice of people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY says so.
Hi everyone, it's your from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives to be VOP, the voice of the people. Your nose takes a shit. I don't forget. VOP is the best.
Alright, hello, it's about talking about people. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know what you are with.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're VOP, Voice of People.
Hi, guys. You already know what it is. This is New Energy. Whatever is watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. JL here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
Hello and welcome to the Voice of TV. I am Vivian Oche.
I am Anna Ndoto. For the news, kindly visit our website and for fresh trend news. Supporters rally behind presidential aspirants.
IPAC backs court judgment on INEC deadline.
INEC to review court ruling on 2027 election timetable.
ADC claims intimidation after ICPC denies El Rufai access.
NDC unveils 20-member screening panel for governor and NAS primaries.
Troops dismantle terror cells and arrest over 40 suspects.
On the foreign scene, Ebola risk raised to very high in DR Congo.
Well, in business news, court grants CBN full ownership of eNaira platform.
In sport, Guardiola gets new role after Man City exit.
In entertainment news, Black Bones explains rejection of $1 million Maven offer. Now in the news in detail. The supporters of leading presidential aspirants gathered at Golden Tulip Terrace Hall, Rukata in Lagos, for a town hall debate tagged "My Candidate is the Best." The event, organized by Voice of the People Media, provided a platform for supporters to showcase the strengths and leadership qualities. Of their preferred candidates ahead of the 2027 general elections. Our correspondent will bring you that detail in a short while.
The Inter-Party Advisory Councillors welcome Federal High Court's judgment to avoid key provisions of the 2027 election timetable released by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The court ruled that INEC exceeded its powers by shortening timelines set out in the Electoral Act 2026. The suit filed by the Youth Party challenged provisions covering party primaries, nomination of candidates, withdrawals and replacements, publications of final candidate list, and campaign periods. Justice Umar held that INEC cannot lawfully abridge statutory timelines provided by law. Reacting, IPAC said the judgment reaffirmed the supremacy of the Constitution and the Electoral Act over administrative guidelines, describing it as a victory for democracy and the rule of law. It also said the ruling would help prevent exclusionary practices that could disenfranchise political parties and aspirants.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will study the court ruling nullifying its timetable for the 2027 general election. Speaking with newsman Victoria Itamesi, INEC's Director of Voter Education and Publicity, said the commission would critically study the court verdict before taking any decision.
As the recent appeal filed by Social Democratic Party member Fayemi Tosin Babatunde challenging the outcome of the party's governorship primary in Ekiti State. A 5-member panel led by Justice Mohammed Garba upheld a March 27 ruling of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which held that the court lacked jurisdiction to hear the case. The Apex Court ruled Babatunde was not an aspirant in the SDP primary and therefore had no legal standing to challenge its outcome under the Electoral Act. The court said mere purchase of nomination forms was not sufficient to qualify him as an aspirant who participated in the party's nomination process. It held that only duly screened and cleared candidates could contest the legitimacy of the primary.
Well, still in the news, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, of blocking access to former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai during a visit to its headquarters in Abuja. The party also alleged heavy deployment of armed police as intimidation of opposition figures. The delegation, including former Osun State Governor and ADC National Secretary Rauf Aregbesola, National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, and Policy and Manifesto Committee Secretary Salihu Lukman, said they were denied access despite prior communication with the agency. In a statement, Abdullahi said the ADC had written to ICPC Chairman Musa Aliu, seeking visitation rights over concerns about El-Rufai's well-being. The party further claimed the atmosphere became tense on arrival, with reports of heavy security presence at the headquarters. It described the incident as part of growing political tensions surrounding El-Rufai's detention and invitation by the anti-corruption agency.
Moving on, the National Working Committee of the Nigerian Democratic Congress has unveiled a 20th National Selection Committee to see the screening and selection of aspirants ahead of its governorship and National Assembly primaries. The committee is expected to be inaugurated on May 25, 2026, before holding its first meeting. In a statement signed by National Secretary Ikenna Inekwezu, the party said the move is aimed at ensuring transparency, internal democracy, and credible candidate selection. The statement ordered that the decision was approved by the party's national leader, following recommendations by the National Working Committee. The committee will review reports submitted by the screening panel and make final decisions on aspirants seeking to contest on the party's platform. National Chairman Moses Zuwoge will chair the committee, while Barrister Ikenna Inekwezu will serve as secretary. Other members include Buba Galadima, Yunusa Tanko, Udenta, Aminu Abdusalam, Mohammed Bankizowo, and Shitu Mohammed.
While still talking politics, Yakubu Danladi Saliu has emerged as the All Progressives Congress APC governorship candidate for Kwara State in the 2027 general election. He secured 94,990 votes to defeat 9 other aspirants. The chairman of the primary election committee, Musiliu Obanikoro, announced the result in Ilorin. Abdul Fattah Yahya Seriki came second with 41,700 votes, while Olufemi Sani polled 5,519 votes. Banikoro said the postponed primary was peacefully conducted with a strong turnout across the state, adding that there were no losers in the contest. Kwara APC Chairman Sunday Fagbemi commended members for their orderly conduct, describing the exercise as a sign of the party's readiness, for the 2027 general elections.
Elsewhere, troops of Operation Wells have foiled an attempt by armed militia members to one suspect was arrested, while weapons, ammunition, and a getaway Toyota Sienna vehicle were recovered during the operation. According to the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, the troops engaged the attackers who were allegedly trying to violently interfere with the primaries. He also said troops of Operation Savannah Shield targeted underground networks providing logistics to terrorist groups in Kwara states.
Well, in another development, Nigerian troops have killed scores of terrorists, arrested over 40 suspects, and rescued at least 9 kidnapped victims in nationwide operations between May 15 and May 21. The Defense Headquarters said the operations also led to the dismantling of insurgent camps, interception of logistics network, and recovery of weapons and illicit materials. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, gave the update in a statement in Abuja. The Northeast, the troops of Operation Hadinkai neutralized terrorists in Borno State and arrested suspected collaborators involved in cattle rustling, while several insurgents and family members surrendered in Dikwa. In the Northwest, troops of Operation Fasanyama killed terrorists and arrested a suspected gun runner supplying arms to bandit leaders, while camps were destroyed in Zamfara. In the North Central, troops under Operations Wall Stroke, Enduring Peace, and Savannah Shield arrested suspects, recovered ransom money, and rescued kidnapped victims in Plateau and Kogi states. In the South-South, Operation Delta Safe troops arrested suspected kidnappers and criminals in Edo and Cross River states.
Still on security matters, troops of Operation High have arrested a 50-year-old woman suspected of cooperating with Boko Haram ISWAP in Kawa government area of Borno State. Security officers quoted by emergency publication Zagzola Makama identified the suspect as Kelu Abba, who was arrested at a security checkpoint on Wednesday. The report added that the security situation in the theater remains calm but unpredictable as troops continue operations across the region.
Well, joining us virtually to analyze these stories is Chijoke Oji. Chijoke is a public affairs analyst, and always a pleasure to hang out with you, Chijoke. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So the Inter-Party Advisory Council has welcomed the Federal High Court judgment that voided key provisions of the 2027 election timetable released. This is one of the stories that's got so many people talking. In fact, if you go online, you see stories, headlines like INEC lost, political parties win. But hey, I just want you to break this down. Can you unpack for us what this means exactly ahead 2027? Can you hear me, Chijoke? Well, we seem to be having problems with connectivity. Let's quickly take a short break. When we come back, we will reconnect with Chijoke Oji. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. As promised, Chijoke is back. And Chijoke, just a little bit of context again, just to refresh your memory. A court has ruled that INEC exceeded its powers by shortening timelines set out in the Electoral Act 2026. In fact, the court has nullified INEC's 2027 timetable. Can you unpack this for us? What does it mean for political parties?
A whole lot of mess. It has now created a jungle of misdirection, confusion. The painful thing is that consequences of this particular ruling, because of course it will bring a lot to array. INEC already had a timeline and timetable to which it was already working to deliver. Now the parties themselves have been overworked trying to meet up with the INEC's directives. Now with this ruling now would mean that all parties will have to go back to the drawing board, and it will simply alter a whole lot. And the interpretation would also go further to shake up the existing, especially those who have emerged. Because for those who have unsuccessfully gained favor, they use the opportunity to see the interpretation of the court if the primaries were actually held in line with the provisions of the law. So the only major issue I see is that these confusions continue to grow. Why? Because we as a society do not seem to be good record keepers. And in most cases, we've seen how dictatorial people that come into helm of offices become, especially with either firing without due consultations. I remember that outside even this ruling, the Muslim brothers and sisters had gone to court to challenge the timetable, saying that it conflicted with their intended time for the fasting periods. So there has been so many things opened up all of as a result of this Professor Ampeto coming in with his own ideas and think that that's the way to move the nation forward. It's a pity that all of those things now will be costing so much, and at the end of the day, nobody will be taking responsibilities, because you can imagine the parties, including INEC, having to redo over all that it has spent so much trying to achieve, even with the sudden chokes that they have now turned the interpretation of the electoral law now make Nigeria the den of. So this will take a whole day to unpack and showcase to Nigerians the immediate dangers, especially with this ruling. But again, lessons should be drawn that it is not about hurriedly jumping the gun that would address the nation, but steady progress. It may be slow, it may also be fast, but not in a manner of hush hush. It must be done according to their way. No, Nigerians have got to learn a lot. I think a lot has been shed light with these issues and the ruling today. I know that INEC has also made the report to say they're going to appeal. Are you going to appeal to stand on what you say, what you that is a complete violation and breach of the electoral law? So it is hard for many of us to really understand, especially the fact that this is said to be a professor at law who should ordinarily be knowledgeable. And that's why when the so-called rank of state advocates are won and decorated by so many, we question their level of understanding and their deep-rootedness in the interpretation of the rule of law in Nigeria. So I think this has created a lot for many Nigerians to chew and at least for once be redirected uh, instead of putting the pressures at the presidency and the governors. Nigerians will be swayed off this type of things. It's a pity.
Okay, okay, some persons have actually said that this particular ruling actually portends well for opposition political parties because some persons who are agreed in a party like APC who has done his its primary rather would now have the room to actually now move the parties. Do you see it as having any advantage in that time?
Yes, let's not forget that many of our politicians do not have ideologies, and it's just using parties as conveying vehicles. If this one has dumped them at one particular bus stop, it's easy to wait for another that will come and pick them, or they just check the next street or the next road and they find their available vehicle again to move. Yes, in a situations where people do not really stand for intended progress other than their pockets and their self-accumulation of wealth that are not questioned or queried, you will always have this of these scenarios. And why it is also important for many Nigerians to look at it the other way. It's not just been about opposition for the sake of today, and when they're elected, the people who they are meant to represent, they dump the parties, dump the people who elected them, and begin to pursue their personal agendas. Every one of them are categorized, the majority of them, the sets of feathers flocking together. Otherwise, we should have been seeing a new Nigerian turnout of certain individuals agreeing that not just of opposition, but a vibrant opposition. Because one of the aspects of is opposition, and anywhere in the world, we have never seen them like it. So the problem is that when you back home, it is the level of indolence that's highly displayed by many. So yes, it will create a lot of windows for so many parties that have been lying dormant. These are like operational vehicles that are ready to carry those who are ready to pipe up. So yes, many of them may still get the opportunity to fight their various or to showcase their ambition, and also grants them the time to also do so rather than under the hurry hush hush that was done before. But again, you could also provide the opportunity to filter and perhaps provide Nigerians better alternative to vote these times, especially not just at the center, but cutting across the state, the local government, and the various constituents.
All right, Chijoke, that's a safe place for us to land in the meantime. Of course, as events unfold, we will continue to push this subject. In the meantime, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused ICPC of blocking access to former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai during a visit to its headquarters in Abuja. This is coming on the heels of what El-Rufai's son and wife said not too long ago, that they are maltreating the former Kaduna State Governor. Chijoke, what do you make of this? What do you think is going on, really? Because the ICPC released El-Rufai only for the DSS to rearrest him. What exactly is going on? What do you think?
It is just certain individuals carrying orders from the top, and they are never ashamed and never get the same scenario. We continue to see it, even under the same El-Rufai. He also, at one time or the other, did the same thing to El Zazaki. I'm not saying that it is not, but we can't continue to create a madness, in an environment we're aspiring for it to grow. One would expect that there should be accountability. If the DSS or the ICPC are making it difficult for him to have access to his lawyers and families, let us understand that case is being charged now does not exclusively make him an enemy of the state. So even if he's being charged for certain wrongdoing, which I have seen as a baseless charge, because from the very instances of it, you can see that it was all orchestrated drama. Otherwise, why do we now have an individual who was in detention said to be under court detention, as ordered by the court, to lose his mother, and then without going back to the same court or to any court to obtain a grantor, a special grantor, he was given the custody to go home and return back after a few. These are all dramas, and the whole issue is clear. The intention is to keep him there so that he does not continue to be the trouble at the center, because El-Rufai's outspokenness has actually brought the presidency and the NSA's office under so many queries that are yet to be responded. Like, for instance, on the issue of the funding of terrorism and paying them billions of naira through the NSA office. And then the fact that the NSA office has been tapping on phone lines, including some of my friends and me myself. I believe that they have been doing these things without the knowledge of Nigerians and due permissions. But again, if you look at the fact that ADC as a party is coming out to cry out now, I think the question now should be going to the center. If he's at the custody of the DSS, why is the director of the DSS not speaking? Why is the spokespersons of the DSS not responding to it? Because they can't be partisans. They are under the authority of Nigeria. They are not at any point in time the servants of the president. They are to take directives, but not a spokesperson. They are to act in the interest and the national interest, which is the number one brief of the security agencies. And that is why, even when the office of the First Lady or anybody who is not immune by the Constitution to be sanctioned when they have erred, in the instances where they are erred, the DSS or the security agencies do not need the permission of the president or anybody to effectively carry out their jobs. But we have been seeing that until they get their marching order, they don't get to do what is right. Somebody is probably doing this thinking he's abusing or praising the president. Why? Because there's no accountability. So they only answer to their immediate bosses and they call from the villa. But I don't think that this projection is giving them, especially the security agencies, the neutrality that they ought to be playing, because their services is to our fatherland, which is Nigeria, and not the other way around. The individuals there will be on the highest tenure of 8 years. another individual will step in. So it is very unfortunate that these complaints have not been, addressed, because I remember a few days ago, like you rightly said, the family of El-Rufai came out to say this publicly. And we have seen the dramas that takes place when El-Rufai is being brought to court. And I don't want to advise the FG because they have not asked for ads. But the truth of the matter is that Nigerians cannot continue to watch where impunity reigns. We must demand for accountability. And it begins from the who all stops on the table. In this cases, should be held accountable and should be responding to. And that's where the independent journalism must wake up to ensure that these individuals are given the needed pressure to even know what are the risks. Is it a court or is it an advice from the office of the DSS? For any security reasons, they may be. But then we will hope on to hear from them. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ujoke, for your submission there. But before we let you go, let's move on to security matters. Nigerian troops says they have killed scores of terrorists and arrested over 4 and rescued at least 9 kidnapped victims in nationwide operations between May 15 and May 21. We look at this surely side by side with events happening in Oyo and many parts of the country. What would you make that what they can show that the fight this insurgency?
Yes, I want to always continue to restate. There are men whose continued loyalty to our dear nation can never be doubted. And they have continued to showcase, to lay down their lives when they have seen how their colleagues, their friends, and family members have been treated and are continually being treated. But the clear truth that must be said is the Nigerian military has been overwhelmed. The biggest problem is admittance and taking responsibility. All these continued lies, misinformation, misdirections, continued impression that things are working when it's not working. From the grapevine information drop is that these guys are not just going to continue the destruction of lives and property, including the maiming and killing of our soldiers. They are now intending to even move further by kidnapping high-ranking officers and using them as the demands. And most of them today are aware. And that's why you can see that majority of them now are, in the hiding. Spokespersons would only read out to Nigerians what they've been directed to do. But what happens that the generals and a few other persons to live fast? The so-called contractors that are within the Ministry of Defense, the military, continue to feel fat and live in absolute luxury. Meanwhile, the individuals that are meant to be facing these fights that are overwhelmed don't have any form of encouragement, not even in equipment, not even with the 21st century combatants ready to engage in things like that. Where is the Nigerian military intelligence that used to be boasted as one of the best, not just in West Africa, but as one of the best in Africa? Look at today, they've all been swallowed. Today, people are fighting war intelligently. Nigerians are deploying young men and women that will be of use to our dear nation to be destroyed and maimed and killed. And in most cases, they're not even accounted for. So Nigerians have continued to live under the lies and the delusion that they are in control. We have seen it. Even the RFI have told the Nigerian military before the 2023 election, when they came with the Brahaha and the intimidations, that they should not forget that they have not won the war on insurgency. You don't win war on insurgencies with bribes and much of power without intelligence.
Well, Chijoke,
Because you need intelligence to know what you're fighting.
Chijioke.
At the moment, they have not been able to define this. You cannot even say they have profiled the individuals that fight. Let the Nigerian military reel out the people that they are looking for. Tell us their villages. Tell us the background histories, the schools they went to. If they didn't go, the Islamic schools or whatever.
Well, Chijioke.
Because this whole thing is all it's an Islamic agenda. I don't want to go deep into it, but it's so messy that the Nigerian military today has become a political wing for the people in power.
Well,
This
Chijioke,
is a sad situation.
what I hear you say basically is that the intelligence architecture must step up to the plate if this war against insurgency must end. I mean, this is a topic we'll have. Yes, this is something we'll have to bring you back to. You talk on, but as usual, you have been very insightful. We thank you once again, Chijioke, for a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, so we've been speaking with Chijioke Orji. He is a public affairs analyst. Now, let's circle back to the VOP town hall debate that took place in Lagos here today as supporters of leading presidential aspirants gathered at Golden Tulip Terrace Hall, Irukata, for a town hall debate tagged, "My Candidate is the Best." The event, organized by Voice of the People Media, provided a platform for supporters to showcase the strengths and leadership qualities of their preferred candidates ahead of the 2027 general elections. Onyeka Ogolo has more.
Reporters, analysts, and members of the public converge on the Golden Tulip Terrace Hall in Lagos for a lively town hall debate organized by Voice of the People Television and Radio. The debate tagged "My Candidate is the Best" featured supporters of major presidential hopefuls who defend their competence, achievements, and leadership capacity of their preferred candidates. Key national issues, including insecurity, economic growth, youth empowerment, and governance, form the center of discussion as supporters exchange views before a live audience.
At this point, there are representatives of political parties at that hall. It's not going to be a one-off thing. It's going to be continuous until the election. We want to hold people accountable. We want people to share the manifesto of their party. If ADC is saying this is what we want to do, as long as it is the members of that political party that is promising, then we can hold the party to their words, So that's what we are trying to do. And it's a novel thing. Probably, I stand to be corrected if any other TV station had done, a national TV station like VOP had done it in the past. So we are just blazing the trail. Others may follow. But here we are, showing Nigerians that they have power. They have everything within their powers to choose the right candidate of their choice.
Some debaters insisted their candidate possessed the experience and vision needed to move the country forward.
This kind of platform is being encouraged and is being supported, especially bringing on board fresh minds, young people in the country, youth on board, not just elites that comes with theories and policies, whereby at the end of the day, what they do in their offices is even more worse and critical. So we believe that there is hope, and whereby we youth can be able to have such kind of debate, ideologically, intellectually, with good composure. I believe that there's a better days for this country, whereby we are not just leaders of tomorrow, we are leaders of today. And also it means that we are walking that path of the responsibility and leadership.
I want to encourage Nigerians to come out and participate in the election. Because if you look at the last election of 2023, you understand that the voter apathy was high. A situation where the registered voters were about 93 million, and we had a situation where only about 24 million came out to vote. That represented about 26% or so. So for me, I will encourage Nigerians to come out and participate in the electoral process and shun voter apathy, because the current electoral act is better than what we had in 2023 election.
African Action Congress, AAC party led by Omoyele Sowore, is still the only existing party in Nigeria today that has a clear manifesto, programs, and economic plan that we have. So apparently we do not only speak, we have something that we speak to.
Audience members also applauded the initiative, describing it as a positive step towards strengthening democratic participation and political awareness among citizens.
I must say big kudos to the VOP TV team, first and foremost, for beginning this town hall initiative. Absolutely, I was definitely waking up on that political side. We need to put our foot down and set the ball rolling. Enough talk. enough promises. We need to get our economy advancing in order to achieve greatness for our nation.
One thing I will take from this debate is these are to a growing conversations that helps to reform our country. So when we lend our voices, it's also part of the things we can do.
Observers say the debate reflects growing public interest in political engagement as Nigerians continue to demand accountability and the people-focused leadership. From the Voice of the People Center Stage, I am Onyeka Ogolo.
Thank you very much, Onyeka. We now move on to foreign. The World Health Organization has raised the public health risk from the ongoing Ebola outbreak, Democratic Republic of Congo, from high to very high. WHO General Tedros Ghebreyesus said the risk remains high across the wider African region, but low globally. The outbreak involves the rare Vanderbilt strain, which has no proven vaccine and kills about 1/3 of those infected. So far, there have been 177 suspected deaths and 750 suspected cases. Meanwhile, scientists at Oxford University are developing a vaccine that could be ready for clinical trials within 2 to 3 months.
Well, before we bring you business news, let's bring it back home where Nigerians have been urged to invest more in the girl child and adopt proper waste disposal practices to address environmental challenges and promote sustainable development. This was the focus of a climate awareness program organized by Girls for Environmental Resilience and Empowerment, Lagos. VOP's Matthew Goswada reports.
Girls for Environmental Resilience and Empowerment Global intensified efforts to promote climate awareness and environmental sustainability among young people, empowering girls to become active voices in climate action. At Avita College in Surulere, Lagos, the founder of Gere Global, Dr. Blessing Humbert, emphasized the importance of investing in the girl child while also an environmental responsibility, particularly against in this dumping of pigs.
When we educate a girl, we educate the whole community, just like the family, the woman, the mother, the family. These are the leaders of tomorrow. They are changing everything, the climate, help us to integrate into the system of being a part of what you can see along the street. We have planted a lot of streets. It's for the environmental tree planting, for example, to nurture, like we have told their teachers, to take care of the girls, and the girls will take care of the trees.
Women are nurturers. If you give a woman a sperm, she turns it into a child. You give her a house, she turns it into a home. Women are good managers. We train them, teach them what to do, and make sure that at the end of the day, they are environmentally aware and conscious. That's the most important thing. Apart from being beautiful, you're not going to be an empty coconut head. You're going to be a woman of substance when it comes to the environment as well.
As part of the initiative, Gere Global inaugurated a tree planting club within the school and appointed students as climate ambassadors to champion environmental consciousness and sustainability.
Environmental sanitation is a problem that should be noted in Lagos. Yes, most of the streets now, you find one way or the other to see one. In my school, I will ensure that the trees are planted and environmental sanitation is maintained.
I will, along with the president, ensure that plants are
duly planted and the environment stays clean and neat and tidy, I will ensure that the girl child has everything required for her to grow independently and physically, socially, emotionally, otherwise.
With tree planting initiative and sensitization sessions on climate change, stakeholders believe young people, especially girls, can play a vital role in building a more environmentally responsible, climate resilient society. Reporting for Voice of People Television.
Thank you very much, Martha. We now move on to business stars. The Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, exclusive ownership rights to the eNaira digital currency platform. In a judgment delivered by Justice James Omotosho, the court restrained eNaira Payment Solutions Limited from presenting itself as a registered owner of the eNaira trademark. The court held that although the company has been registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission since 2004, its use of the name was misleading because it is linked to Nigeria's sovereignty. Justice Omotosho also ruled that the eNaira is a national intellectual property and a national asset of Nigeria. The court further held that the company has no greater legal claim to the trademark than the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Well, in sports news now, Manchester City have announced that Pep Guardiola will continue his relationship with the City Football Group as a global ambassador after leaving his role as first-team manager. Guardiola ends a 10-year spell in charge of Manchester City following his decision to step down from the Premier League club. In his new role, the 55-year-old will provide technical advice to clubs within the group and support selected projects and collaborations. He departs as City's longest-serving manager, having taken charge of 593 games, surpassing Liam McDowell. During his time at the Etihad, Guardiola won 20 trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and the 2023 UEFA Champions League.
And now to entertainment, rapper Black Burns has revealed why he turned down an alleged $1 million offer to join him in records. Burns said he declined the deal partly because he does not enjoy being highly active on social media or constantly engage in fans, adding that it may not align with expectations of a major record.
Well, it's a wrap on news, but before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that supporters have a rally behind presidential aspirants.
Also, IPAC backs court judgment on INEC deadlines.
INEC to review court ruling on 2027 election timetable.
ADC claims intimidation after ICPC denies El Rufai access.
NDC unveils 20-member screening panel for a Gov and NAS primaries.
Troops dismantle terror cells and arrest over 40 suspects.
Well, on the foreign scene, Ebola risk raised to very high in DR Congo.
In business, court grants CBN full ownership of eNaira platform.
Well, in sports news, Guardiola gets new role after Man City exit.
And in the world of entertainment, Black Bones explains rejection of $1 million Marvin offer. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel on YouTube, Voice of the People Television, and on other social media platforms. We add at TV. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Your eyewitness report, event request, photos, directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057, and also reach our newsroom by email at news@voice.ng. I am Nena. Domdioto.
Vivian, thank you for watching.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Food remains one of the most powerful tools in maintaining health and preventing disease. As the commemoration of World Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day, nutrition experts and healthcare professionals are drawing attention to the role of proper nutrition in improving the quality of life. The event, themed Discover the Power of Nutrition, highlights how food choices can influence lifespan, productivity, and overall well-being. Speakers note that balanced diets that include fruits, vegetables, adequate water intake, and controlled portions can help reduce the risk of several health conditions. They warn that unhealthy eating habits and essential and excessive consumption of processed foods continue to contribute to a growing number of non-communicable diseases, including obesity, cardiovascular disease, and hypertension.
Is when you get your diet right, you are physically and mentally alert, which you know that eating healthy is one of the master key of good health. Down to the hospital setting, they come in as clients. We have those on admission across board, from cradle to geriatric, which is the elderly people. So from the pregnant woman, for your child, for you to be healthy and the child to be healthy, and you come out having a bouncing and beautiful or handsome baby, you need the touch of a dietitian. That is in terms of a promotion of good health.
Experts also emphasize the important role dietitians play within the healthcare system, particularly in providing specialized nutritional care for patients who are unable to feed normally.
We need to improve on our policy. We need to improve on our policy. We need to make sure that food is one of the highest allocation is given to food in the policy. 1, 2, during the policy for nutritionists, dietitians should be included in this policy making table, because we are the ones that actually knows where the feet is pinching. We are with the grassroots. We know them. We see them. They come to us. Some of them, we know the reasons why some of this thing is happening. So with this, we can actually tackle this thing. The second thing is that we need to train more of nutritionists and dietitians in Nigeria.
Beyond hospitals, nutrition advocates say that raising awareness about healthy eating habits remains key to building a healthier population. They add that schools, institutions, and communities must work together to promote better nutrition practices.
And the message we have out there is that nutrition is the bedrock of healthy living. If we talk about people being healthy to go about their businesses and being away from disease, out of disease, you have to make your nutrition a top priority in your life. So when you get the nutrition right, it takes care of every health condition as well as healthy living.
For organizers of the event, the goal is to encourage greater recognition of the role institution and nutrition plays in everyday health and national development.
Just like the way they normally say that information is power. So we want to empower people all on the aspect of malnutrition. When I say malnutrition, we have undernutrition, we have overnutrition. And when we talk about malnutrition too, some can resort to health challenges. You understand? And even excessive to overnutrition resort to health challenges. When we talk about malnutrition, many of us, our understanding is about the children, it's about the toddlers. Fine, they have it on the side. We have that challenges, and we want them to get information. If they are rightfully fed, if they are adequately fed, they will see every child is not expected to sleep in an hospital. If it is not a kind of a epidemic kind of situation that is happening, every child should stay at home, come for hospital for just checkup or immunization, and go back home and live healthy. So, but for the adults too, you discover a lot of adult-related health challenges. They are diet-related challenges. We want to talk about hypertension. We want to talk about diabetes. We want to talk about obesity. We want to talk about renal-related. Renal-related condition. When we say renal, we have acute, chronic till you get to the end stage, depending. It's about liver cirrhosis or fatty liver or disease, or even alcoholic fatty liver. So a lot of health challenges that people are having. If we want to talk about the common in our client, which is malaria, it is hemolysis. Hemolysis that the red blood cell is being destroyed, and we have a nutritional anemia, and we have anemia on its own too. And one of the things you see many people after treating malaria, they say they need a blood tonic too. So a lot of things that this program we address. If Nigeria embrace this profession, if Nigeria put this profession in the appropriate place, put us where we belong, encourage us, we are ready to give out our best. And we have people, we have professors, we have doctors, we have professionals that are practicing day in, day out, that have current knowledge about what is happening. But if if the environment does not encourage, then and you are unnecessarily overworked, you are unnecessarily short-staffed, then you become weary because how will you? Knowledge is not static. You need to be improving in knowledge every now and then. So what this program is the message is trying to pass across is that individual can actually live healthy, and those that are having health challenges too can also maintain it. If it is uncurable one, if it is the one that they need to manage, they can also live healthy with the knowledge of nutrition gotten from the appropriate quarters, from the expert, because it is like a medicine. You need to review, you need to come for follow-up, we need to make assessment. It is not a one-time thing. So, and it's not surgery. And if it is not surgery too, you have to come for follow-up too, for the site, for the operation that has been carried out, for the surgeon to ensure that everything is working out fine. And if for it to working out fine too, nutrition is needed, because the wound will still need to be healed. Then you need a vitamin C, you understand. You need a protein, replenishment of tissues, and then you need adequate iron supply, so that everything will go. You need a vitamin A for the epithelial tissue, for everything to work effectively. So that is what we are here, and that is the message we are passing out. And on the topic, discover the power of nutrition, I'm so much interested in this year program because it has a very powerful theme, and we want the world to know about it.
Participants were also taken through simple physical exercises, highlighting the importance of combining good nutrition with active living for improved health outcomes.
All over the world, every nutritionist dietitian is celebrating this month as a month where we create more awareness about the goodness of nutrition, right? The goodness of food. Everyone you see here, majority of people you see here are professionals of nutrition and dietetics, where the group that have been equipped with the knowledge of passing right nutrition information to the people of the world, right? So here today, we want people to know that there's power in nutrition. We want people to know that with good food, you can prevent illness. It's not just about eating, it's about eating smart, eating right, and eating well, so that you can be able to achieve the maximum nutrients benefits from the foods that you are consuming.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from the Real Housewives of Lagos and the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's about that shaking the man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers wherever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice. Hello, my name is Inejo. Keep watching VOP TV.
What up? My name is Usimachiku. You are watching VOP TV. Keep it locked.
Hello, I am Floyd Igbo. Keep watching VOP TV.
Hi everyone, I hope you're doing good. Keep watching VOP TV and just have an amazing day. Thank you.
Hi guys, it's your boy Praise. Keep watching VOP TV.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposing